What a way to kick off our Saturday. Man, what a great series of Overwatch we've seen between Paris Eternal and LA Gladiators. About as tight as it can be. So tight, in fact, that the last map was just a draw. Nobody won that last one. It was a tie.
Yeah.
That means no map 5 out of this series. It all comes down to our next map to decide who wins this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I was a bit surprised. I think Eternal probably should have been able to take that, especially with how
they had 4 minutes for B to get 1 tick. Yeah, they should have taken that one.
They made some mistakes, which was uncharacteristic when it came to playing the 3-3, whereas when they mixed it up, having the Pharah in there, coming in with the Tracer, easy capture on A, and I hope we continue to see some of that sniper play on Dorado. Still should be quite viable on point A.
Yeah.
And I think the team that has something else to offer us is going to be winning this next map, something besides the standard 3-3.
I mean, when you're talking about adaptation and flexibility in compositions, I feel like naturally you'd want to go the Gladiators route with that. But then again, I mean, on Anubis, we did see quite a change in composition from Paris too. So I think there's more to this team than meets the eye too.
I think sometimes you can tell that teams are a bit rusty on non-3-3 execution because Gladiators spent all last season playing that Orisa Junk Widow defense, and they should know better, Noah. They should know better.
They should be ashamed of themselves. They're grounded. Here we go. Gladiators on the attack here on Dorado. Looks like it's going to be 3-3 from both teams with that Reinhardt again. We'll see if Roar can put on a better performance here. Benbest really low. Ooh, Void. They got him. Hydration down too, though. Extending to get that kill on the Reinhardt. They get Nico, so good start for LA.
Yeah, still though, I mean, Shaz just fragging out from the back line now. As soon as that Reinhardt goes down, there's nothing to block those left and right clicks coming in from the Zenyatta.
That's the thing, man. I mean, if you unleash Zenyatta, he might be like a tranquil monk, but he can put out the damage.
Yeah,
3 kills for Shaz in the end of that one.
Yeah, losing hydration, they're not the biggest deal. You'll take that trade. If you can get the enemy Reinhardt in this composition almost every time.
I mean, usually if you are having trouble with hydration in real life, you die too, but not the Gladiators. They can survive. They're like one of those like frogs that dries up in the summer and lives underground.
Gladiators don't mind the dehydration.
I guess so. Oh, soon. Gets taken out by Void self-destruct. He caught Finzi with it too. Paris already on the back foot at the beginning of the second fight. A stun onto Roar, but I feel like he can handle the pressure. Maybe not. Paris Eternal turning this one around anyway. Despite the early losses from Void's self-destruct, they kept it together, won the fight.
Yeah, it's so tricky with the amount of pressure that Paris is going to put on your tank line. And a part of that, too, we have to talk about is Cruz. He likes to go pretty deep into the enemy composition and start pushing the other team's tanks into his own.
Yeah.
So keep an eye here on Cruz. Definitely one of the most aggressive Lucio players. Also dies among the most Lucio players, but he also has some of the most final blows. So he gives it, he takes.
Hey, that's right. High risk, high reward. I like it. Doesn't bother me one bit. He's like the Zangief of Overwatch. I like that play style.
Truly, when I look at Cruz, I am instantly reminded of Zangief.
That's right. You just look at me and think final Atomic Buster for sure. Gladiators, a lot of ultimates coming into this next fight. Surefour's grab, foremost among them. A lot of grabs getting eaten in this series today, though. You know Finzi's watching out for that one.
There's definitely been a graviton buffet in this matchup.
Sure has.
And now players both being quite cautious. Rally comes in for the Gladiators.
Grab gets used by Paris. They're going to send in that self-destruct. Ooh, right on target, but no kills out of that one. Shaz forced into the Transcendence 2, though. Roar does get a nice charge on a Nico. And now the sound barrier. Ooh, Benbest with a big shatter, but they had this sound barrier. Hip gets the kill onto Roar anyway. It's another one of those back and forth fights between these two teams, and this time it's going to be Gladiators coming out on top.
And they'll be able to push it through A, no problem, after they mop up Finzi. And there you go, Gladiators victory, only coming out with a self-destruct though, so throwing quite a bit at that last engagement. Paris Eternal can't survive even though their support ultimates come down. Paris should have plenty of opportunity to take this high ground though, and maintain that advantage. Nico, a little bit of scouting right there. Does hate railings.
Everybody hates railings in Overwatch. Die, railings. Die.
They need to be able to get that angle for the Zarya. Instead, they might just drop straight down.
That's right. OSHA is coming. Look out. Next to. Well, it's going to be a self-destruct. Hydration. Well, manages to get Nico with the whip shot. Void's going to follow up with one on the Benbest. They want to get this payload moving. They want to move it fast. Forté turning around, barely charged up enough to grab some kills. And Paris just kind of falling apart. Decided early on, I think, that they wanted to save the ultimates for the next one at the end of B, but it's looking pretty good for Gladiators so far in this attack.
Yeah, it is. I'm surprised Paris wanted to drop onto the payload so quickly right there when they could have engaged in a successful exchange of pokes because they have the high ground to hide behind. Instead, they cede the high ground over to the Gladiators, and Forté is standing up there with the Graviton. Paris, they've got to win this fight.
Yeah, they do. You can't give a team that much time going into C on Dorado. Waiting for it now. Waiting out the rally from Paris. Kind of letting that extra armor fade away a little bit.
Well, it's going to be a while, though. I don't think they're going to wait out the whole rally here. We'll have to see what their decision is going to be. It's going to be some high ground poking. Okay, so they're maintaining the high ground, just setting the tank down to pressure the card. That'll force Void down in turn. We're going to get a little bit by bit here. And now that means Gladiators has to come all the way down with Void low.
Oh, all right. A couple people knocked down by that Shatter. Hit there with the Transcend. It's going to be the sound barrier on the Gladiator side. As they try to stay alive. Here comes the self-destruct. BenBest does get hydration with the charge, actually. Zenyatta can't save you from that one. Paris Eternal on the point. And now Cruz coming in from behind. Was looking for the boop onto Roar to maybe knock him into his team. Didn't quite find it, though, but crucially, Paris winning that fight and saving some ultimates as well.
Yeah, and when you see some of these engages, though, that are just these poke wars across the chasm on the high ground, chipping out one tank can be hugely impactful because your Inspire is not active on your Brigitte, so you really lack the healing to quickly heal up, and that means you can't contest the payload.
Yeah, Brigitte needs to hit things to heal. Soon gets caught up in the grab. A lot of people are nice sound barrier. Void throws a self-destruct in there anyway. No kills out of that one. It's going to be Gladiators, though, coming on top in this fight. Just a little bit too much for Paris to handle. A lot of damage came in at once, and the best thing for Gladiators is that they were able to do that without, again, dedicating those ultimates to it.
Yeah, they had to drop the grab on that one, but they'll be feeling okay, especially if they get some of these eliminations on the split spawn.
Wow, BenBest and Nico just walking a bit too far forward there.
I mean, that was their spawn. Like, what could you do, right?
Well, I guess that's true. Yeah, I didn't see they got split spawned there.
Getting split spawned, and so they can't actually deal with the pressure that the Gladiators put on, which means extra payload movement for the Gladiators.
True enough. Why did they build that door there in this building? Its only purpose is to slow things down. I mean, I think it'll load in there. I don't know. Roar drops the Shatter there. It's going to be a response from BenBest. Shaz knocked down. They save him, though. He doesn't die. Mima avoiding backlines of Paris Eternal. A little bit in trouble here, trying to do the damage that he can. Soon, really, really low. Oh, they get Soon. The Zarya down on the Paris side, and that's going to be the key for Gladiators to push ahead. Hydration with a couple kills right there. Gladiators going to get some more distance. We talked about it already today, man. If the Zarya is the first person on your team to die, you only have a little over a 5% chance to win that team fight statistically, and Paris suffering there.
Yeah, it's hard to win team fights when your player dies first anyway. Even the best teams will only have about a 30% win rate, but...
Zarya especially, though.
Yeah, Zarya, it dwindles precipitously in this meta.
Yeah, you lose the damage, you lose those shields, crucially. There's a lot of stuff that Zarya brings to a fight in Overwatch right now. Paris trying to weather the LA Gladiators storm right now as Gladiators trying to finish this one off. They wait for the defense matrix to be down. They throw in the grab. That's going to be the response to the self-destruct. Both Divas picking up one. Soon and Shaz going down. Now the sound barriers coming out for the teams. BenBest drops another Earth Shatter. Big Goose drop. Finally finished off by BenBest with that follow-up charge. Now Forté in a lot of trouble, and Paris Eternal at the last moment are gonna hold, and there are only 20 seconds remaining for the Gladiators.
Paris continues to impress me with how fast they can select and burn down targets. In chaotic situations, they always seem to be on the same page about who they're focusing so that they can come out on top of these engagements. And now 5 seconds left. Gladiators desperately trying to make it to the payload.
They got a rush to get there. Luckily, Big Goose already on, gets some armor right in the end to stay alive. BenBest half health. They're gonna try to rush him. They're going in with the Transcendence right now. We'll see if they can. Soon's grab gets eaten. That is big for the Gladiators. Void coming up huge again with that defense matrix. They get BenBest too. They lose Big Goose, but Gladiators might have enough. They just got to deal with the response, but there goes Nico, and they are so close to finishing off this third point. Paris on the payload again, though, and Void, ooh, he got caught by that self-destruct. Paris responding with a couple of kills. Here comes the grab now from Forté. Cruz low. Oh, Cruz just barrier. He got it off. just in time. Clutch sound barrier from Cruz. What a hero, but they still need to win the fight. They got a lot to contend with. Finzi demacked.
I think that might just win the fight here for Paris.
I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know, man.
Coming back.
Grab comes in again for Soon. That one did not get eaten. Hip with a couple kills, and Gladiators responding, but it's Paris able to turn it around again. This fight has been so back and forth. Throwing out, gets the stick. Goodbye, Sure4. Boyd with the self-destruct. Oh, he fights two. What is this game right now? Paris, though, they still have the respawns. They still have the advantage. And at the end of the day, I think that's what's going to do it. Soon's got the Doom Fist out, but it's all winding down here. Roar walking in on his own, but he can't get there. Paris will barely hold.
The double bubble onto Soon and Cruz, followed by that covered the animation for the sound barrier, so he didn't die. If that hadn't gone off, that's a Gladiators win on that map.
Oh, I need to catch my breath. I'm sure you guys do too. See you in just a moment. There's Cruz, I would say the man of the hour, at least the man of that round at the end, getting off that crucial sound barrier.
That was so crazy.
Dude, I mean, you saw the Paris Eternal just like laughing after that fight. They're like, all right, we know we shouldn't have probably got that one, but they barely pulled it out. Let's watch that one again. So you're going to see him get caught up in the grab. Look at that, 95, 96.
97. Now watch, double bubble gives him enough time to get the sound barrier and then protect him during the animation. That was like razor's edge play there.
No kidding.
If the projected barrier hadn't been there from the Zarya, never would have even gotten through that animation.
You know, he's just like
barrier.
spamming that Q button as fast as he goes. Like, come on! God, that was great. That was a great end of that round. Paris Eternal on the attack, and you know, because of where that one ended, now they don't even need to finish. They need to mostly finish, but they don't quite need to push it all the way to beat Gladiators and win this series. This match comes down to this round right now.
It certainly does, and Paris still feeling confident in the Reinhardt 3-3 mirror, as well they should, and Gladiators, they really want to play into this. I don't know if I necessarily agree with their game plan coming into this match, though.
It's brave. I mean, we haven't seen as high-level play from Aurora and the Reinhardt as Ben Best has shown us overall, but you never know. You could clutch it out. Soon trying to build up that energy, trying to build up that grab right now. They're going to get aggressive here. They've got Roar really low health. Can they finish him? Gladiators pull back. They do get the D-Mech onto Void. So even though they saved their Reinhardt, they still lost that Diva Mech, which is almost just as bad.
Oh, yeah, absolutely terrible for them. Now they can't stop any of the poke coming in from the Zarya right clicks.
Right.
And Paris has an option just to rush onto them.
Roar. Well, now he's low. Now you just jump on Roar. Yeah, there you go. Ben Best finishes him with the Fire Strike. Easy peasy there. Ooh, Hydration gets knocked down. So Shatter coming in from the Reinhardt on Paris Eternal, and Hip getting a couple kills at the end. That's going to be the end of A. Yeah,
Void gets his mech back eventually and flies off to the high ground, beats a hasty retreat back to the rest of the Gladiators. As you say, fast point A this time around. Paris, they will be holding on to all of their ultimates except the Shatter, which was just used to clean up a tad bit faster.
Sure enough. On board with Ben Best for a moment there. Reinhardt of the hour for sure. Cruz, though.
Working his way up the courthouse walls.
Yeah, wants to get that boop.
He wants a boop. Hydration's there, though. He knows the Cruz trick.
I mean, both these teams have watched footage of each other coming into this one. They both know that their Lucios like to get behind the tanks, get behind people, and knock them into the other team. Yeah. So, yeah, you're going to be ready if you're both teams, honestly, in that situation.
Hydration really picking up on the Cruz clues there.
Yeah, Cruz clues, right? So.
My favorite children's show.
They're even blue. What do you know? Roar gets a little bit low. Going to be the Transcendence coming in. Self-destruct time across the board. It's an ultimate fiesta. No kills out of that one aside from Roar. Self-destruct Not getting anything for either team there, but it's going to be Paris Eternal grinding through the Gladiators yet again. It's all cleanup here with the tanks out of the way. Clean fight for Paris. And they're going to get so much time on point C. This is the opposite of what you want to see if you're Gladiators in another split spawn coming in. Looks like they can't quite capitalize, though.
No, too many members of the Gladiators left alive. They had 4 players there. You're just not going to be able to push down somebody when you're only walking forward with 2 or 3. Instead, they wisely back off.
Ben Best, a nice shield on Surefour, actually, saving himself from getting hit by that shatter. Oh, Roar canceled during the animation, tried to throw out his own shatter, but he got stunned by the Brigida. Great play from Paris. Nico pops a rally after making the big play, but guess what? Both Reinhardts are down, and there goes Nico rather. So Gladiators coming back strong in this defensive fight, and despite Surefour falling to Cruz, that's going to be Gladiators finally getting a little bit of stability on this payload.
Yeah, Paris had already used a bunch of their abilities, though, and they have 4.5 minutes. It's going to be so easy for them to slow bleed the Gladiators out.
Then again, I remember one map ago.
Anubis, yeah,
where
they made some mistakes.
There was also 4 minutes left on the end of that one where Paris had a lot of time. So we'll see. A precedent has been set, we'll say. Grab gets tossed in there by Surefour from downtown. Void throws in the Graviton Surge to boop attempt, but no kills out of that one. Now the grab for Paris, it's their turn. Can they get anything with the Div ultimate? They do get Big Goose rather. Nico down on the side of Paris too, as the rest of Eternal pushes forward. Roar taken out once again, not able to be kept alive by his team. Gladiators responding. It's a rough day for Reinhardts. What can you say? Rough day for everybody, really.
I mean, this payload's going to keep moving, though, Dawn. That's
a little bit, yeah.
They're going to get some more distance on it regardless, because enough of the Gladiators died that they're going to have to fall back and try and play the corner right now, and they will.
Whoa!
What a stun! What a stun from Roar!
Comes out from Roar. He's like, I heard you were criticizing my Reinhardt play. Well,
allow me to shatter around this corner for you.
Let me shatter your illusions about my Reinhardt play.
Gladiators really needed that. I mean, this just gets them a little bit more time to stabilize. Now they can play choke points again.
Yeah. All right. Well, the Gladiators have certainly put themselves in a position to hold this for a long time again. Paris Eternal, flashbacks of Temple of Anubis. Got to be able to, oh no, soon. I think he probably got knocked off the map there too. It's hard to say, but that's the place where it would happen if it's going to happen anywhere.
Yeah, that was a little bit weird. Paris must have not been together.
Or maybe we got to replay that one. Who knows?
Yeah, when they were coming back on that approach.
Yeah.
Soon was having some struggles on their last attack.
True enough.
When push came to shove. And
rotating around now. Love watching the Lucio's bounce around the high ground. Sound barrier comes in. It was Ben Best with the shatter, but didn't pick anything up. Now they're going to be trapped in the grab. Here we go. Gladiators with some kills already. Transcendence used by him. I don't know if that's the fight you want to dedicate the Transcendence to. That's a bit of a rough decision, I think, as they were not going to win that fight either way.
Now Surefour and the rest of the Gladiators not giving them an inch as we take a look at this one. Just trying to see what exactly occurred.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, did look like it was...
Yep. Slowly sliding. You know, when you fall off right there, you kind of slowly slide down the rocks, too, so it took a moment. That happens.
Hydration there with the whip shot for the environmental kill.
Whip shot.
Whip shot.
Void. Self-destruct. No kills. Shadow was dropped by Roar as well there. They're going to respond. Surefour knocked down by that one. Finzi gets demeched. Ben Best does get the kill onto Surefour, but without that Diva suit, going to be a little bit tougher to push, but they've got the big kill. Zarya down. So that's a fight that Paris knows they can win. Cruz, sound barrier, uses it to keep his tanks alive. Right back in onto Roar. There's a kill they need. There goes Hydration to the right click from Zarya, and now that payload's going to get some real distance.
Yes, it is. As soon as they clean up the mini and
right
very annoying Lucio hovering around the payload. But guess what, Doa? 3 minutes gone already. So Gladiators must be feeling pretty decent.
I mean,
that said, you're coming in to grab, you're coming in to self-destruct. You have no support ults except for that Transcendence online, which isn't going to cut out the immediate damage, the instant damage of the Diva Bomb.
They're close. They've got the ultimates to do this too. Proper execution is all Paris needs to finish off this series and take the win. They're gonna grab Finzi, tosses that self-destruct way high in the air. Oh, he gets two with it, Hydration and Roar. They couldn't quite get a beat on it, and that's Paris Eternal rolling towards a victory here. Easy block on that self-destruct from Void, easy D-Mech. Big Goose back. They're going to have some respawns, but I feel like that's all Paris needed. That one play, that one self-destruct. And it's just going to be a slow roll through the rest of Gladiators for Paris to win this series. So close, the grab gets used.
And there's a Moira on the back of the cart.
Shaz was hiding behind the cart rather. Sound barrier, they're still in it. Big Goose staying alive. Void gets demeched again. I can't believe how long they're gonna nearly force an OT, but it's not enough. Paris Eternal finally getting the win in that series, but man, doesn't get too much more shields up than that. Gladiators with a great defense. In the end though, Paris Eternal comes out on top. This is absolutely a team to watch this year.
I mean, you can't say much more. They beat London and they beat the Gladiators. They've shown that they can tussle with the very best that Overwatch League has to offer.
Yeah, I mean, the questions after the first match is like, yeah, they looked really good, but, you know, London not ending up to be the strongest opponent. Was we found out Gladiators was going to be their real test, and a test it was. Man, it was close. But Paris Eternal coming out on top in the end by the slimmest of margins. But you know what? A win is a win, and I think we've got a lot to look forward to from Paris.
And this meta, I don't think anybody should be trying to play them in a consistent 3-3. They're just too good.
I was going to say, yeah, it's going to be tough. We got a lot of games left in the league this year, but Paris is going to be a fun one to watch. Let's send it down to Mica, who's standing by with Cruz.
Thanks, guys. We got Cruz here. Give it up for Cruz and his amazing Lucio plays. So, you guys have been lauded kind of as the best 3-3 comp team so far. We've heard a lot about your GOATs play, but we've been seeing a lot of versatile play from you guys as well. Is this kind of proving that you're more than just 3-3, or are you just kind of becoming meta-proof at this point?
Sorry my voice is a bit gone from shouting so much, but no, I think we can play a lot. We're not just a 3-3 team. And I also don't want to like take credit for being the best 3-3 team. I think a lot of teams are really, really good, and we're just one of them. So, yeah.
Also, speaking of 3-3 and speaking of your Lucio, you had a kind of game-saving sound barrier. Can you kind of walk us through that moment? And it was just so incredible. I know backstage we were all freaking out about it.
You mean on Dorado, like the last bit, right?
Yeah.
I was just screaming, oh, I almost used a bad word there. I was just screaming, save me, save me. I have sound barrier. I had ult soon, and then I think I got bubbled, and I used it as soon as I could, so, yeah.
So what you're saying is that's why your voice is gone right now?
Yeah, I was shouting a lot. Yeah, I was shouting a lot, so, yeah.
All right, last question. You're going up against Atlanta Reign next. They've been kind of scary. You know, people are really hyping them up here. Do you have any thoughts of how you're going to go into this? How are you guys going to prepare?
Just focus to Fran. He's so good. Just kill him.
All right, you heard it here first. Going to focus to Fran. It's going to be a great match. But for now, we're going to kick it back to the casters. Everybody make some noise.
There you go. Wow, how about that Paris Eternal? Already with the game plans for Atlanta, right? Just killed a Fran. Honestly, I can't argue with that too much. That's not a bad strategy. But hey, you gave it away, Cruz. Now they know.
I don't think that's their actual game plan.
I don't think so either. That's probably not it. Let's take a look at our player of the match. It is going to be the one, the only, Finzi. That's right. Eating a lot of grabs. I would say playing very well. Got some of the crucial self-destruct kills at the end on Dorado for the go-ahead victory for Paris Eternal. Great day for the Diva.
I do think it's a little bit hard in this metagame to try and pick out individual players of the match because it is so, even by Overwatch standards and all the metas we've seen, team-oriented. Yeah. And you could hear Cruz down there with his voice hoarse from the shot calling. That is more important than it has ever been, I think, in the Overwatch meta.
I agree. I mean, 3 ultimates negated. That's still a great stat to come out of a 4-map series with the Diva, but you are totally right. And I mean, you look at this guy, but then you also think, wow, Ben Best really coming up really big. And just as far as the team effort goes, you can't go in and kill a Reinhardt solo, right? You need the team to execute properly to do that. They did it over and over against Roar. So yeah, just more of what we saw in the first great coordination from Paris.
I am a little bit surprised about what we saw from the Gladiators, though. This is a team that we know to be so creative in their planning and their strategies, and I just don't think trying to play Paris in a 3-3 Reinhardt mirror was really the way to go, yet they kept trying it. They kept it so close, but in the end, they couldn't pull out the win.
Yep, for now, Finzi the MVP from Omen by HP. We'll see who takes it next time around, but, you know, like you said, it's a team effort. There you go.
It certainly is.
Fusion versus Fuel up next, guys. Don't go anywhere. Lots more Overwatch League waiting for you. We're only just getting started here on a beautiful Saturday in the Blizzard Arena. Quick break. We'll see you for the next match.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.